Good afternoon, Flosstube. My name is Mandy. My pronouns are she, her. Welcome to my channel, all about cross stitch. Today is Friday, February 9th, and we've got some goodies to share today. It's been a good couple of weeks stitching wise. I've actually had a couple of really good stitching days. Just this past Sunday, I shared in my stories on Instagram, I had over 1,000 stitch day. I was so surprised when I saw how much I actually got stitched on a project that day, because I had taken a nap and I didn't think that I had stitched all that much. And so the fact that I saw those numbers, I was blown away. And then just the other day, I had 2 different projects. I didn't post anything about it specifically, but earlier this week, there was one day that on 2 projects, I got nearly 1,000 stitches on a weekday. Who am I? I stitch a lot, but 1,000 stitches on a weekday? That's insane. You'll see the reason why, though. I was working on a piece that where I'm at is one color, so I just kept pulling links and getting them stitched in. And so I was surprised, though, to see how much I had actually gotten stitched in that day. Yeah, it is beautiful here in Michigan right now. What's going on? Not that I'm questioning, I'm going to accept it. I haven't seen what the temperature is today, but yesterday was 59 degrees for the day. Sun was shining. I clocked out of work at 5 o'clock and I went for a walk. I actually walked, maybe took about 40 minutes or so. I wasn't speed walking by any means, but went out for a 1.5 mile walk. I was feeling it by the time I got back home. That is for sure. But I found the charger for my wireless earbuds and got those charged up. So I had some music keeping me company, and I just went and put some steps on my shoes. I needed to get up off the couch and it felt amazing to do so. So hopefully I can do more of that. Just, staying a little active. If you think about it, cross stitching is quite a sedentary hobby. And so I sit a lot. And so having a job that sits at a desk all day and a craft that sits on the couch, definitely need to get up and off the couch, out of that desk chair a little bit, and actually, just go move a little bit. So that felt really good. Yeah, might as well get into some stitching here. Don't have a whole lot to share. I am on my lunch break, as I usually am. So this won't take all that long. My new starts, this was enabled by none other than Jessie Marie Does Stuff. We were chatting a couple weeks ago and there was a shop that was new to me that I was sharing with her. She'd already known about them, and we got to talking about this particular project, and yeah, it's a start. So I am starting July Birth Flower. Artwork is, or the shop name is Luthien Art. I will try to remember to put them in my comments, or the box, the description. What am I even getting into? Oh, and then I completely lose my Google. This is life. I really need to figure out how to do some editing one of these years. Actually, what I need is a device that doesn't get filled up with everything, that I can have space. So, Luthien Art. I know I was showing this last week or something, that it was, or the last video, that it was a planned start. And so we've got it started. That border, oh, I'm in love. And this is one color, one DMC so far. This is not the piece I was just talking about, of where I got almost 1,000 stitches in a day. But this is just, so far I've just done one color of the border, DMC 161 for that. The material is 18 count bestitchme in Winter Stroll, I think it is. I showed it in haul a video or 2 ago, a couple of videos ago. I know it's 18 count winter or something or other. Beautiful, beautiful fabric. I don't think it's going to be quite this big, but it's going to be a tall one, so definitely will need. I know the border, the side border is not quite enough to be 3 inches wide. I did have to go down to an 18 count to be able to find a piece of material that would fit. It was not going to fit on a 16 count. And so then I had to just reduce my border on the sides a little bit to get it to fit that way. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful pattern. I cannot wait to get more into this. This is 2 or 3 stitching evenings, I think. I started it on a Saturday evening and really just got a lot of stitching in. I don't remember what kind or count wise or anything like that. The good thing is this chart does go into Pattern Keeper perfectly. And so, yeah. So that is going to be my July birth month. I did have to look it up that, because honestly, I've never really paid attention to what my birth flower was. And now I can't remember what they were because it showed up as 2 different ones. You know, and the words were on the tip of my tongue and I forgot to look it up. So whatever flowers these are, they're beautiful. I love them. So it's going to come together at some point. No set goal to get it stitched by or anything like that. It's just something to work on, as with 99% of my projects. All right, my next piece is a finish for now. I have been stitching on this weekly. Forbidden Fiber Co. has a bit of a mystery stitch along right now. It is called Gilmoreisms, and so we got the frames once, and then each week on Mondays we are getting the drop for the next block. So far I have 2, 4, we have 6. And so I think it's going through April. There's going to be 13 overall. So, yeah. So I've got 2 more put in since the last time you saw it. So here we are. So this, last Monday's was the Love Rocket. So if you know the show, you know the rocket, but if, so Gilmore Girls, I love that show. At one point, Rory's boyfriend Logan was going to London and gave her this rocket. It turned out to be, I had to Google it because I couldn't remember the full story behind it, but it was referencing a Twilight Zone episode from years ago. So, yeah. So we've got the rocket. I'm loving the floss colors. I did spoil myself and get the Forbidden Fiber Co. Flosses, and so that the rocket itself is one color that's a bit of a variegated, and so it's coming out really pretty like that. I am taking the time to do 1 stitch at a time just to be able to get that particular look. But something to keep in mind when it comes to variegated flosses, there is no right or wrong way. It's stitched to the look that you want it to have. 1 strand loop method, 2 strands, 1 stitch at a time, however you want, it will just give you a different look. This past week's, this past Monday's drop, I absolutely swooned when I read it. So, Scorpio, I'm not going to try to read that backwards. You will meet an annoying woman today, give her coffee, and she'll go away. Absolutely loved this. So, a story between Luke and Lorelai that he had this in his wallet the entire time and shared it with her on their first date. So, I was thinking I might have stitched something wrong, but no, that's, yeah, oh, that's good. So that's Scorpio. I love it. Love this piece. I cannot wait to see what else Leanne comes out with when she's sharing her Instagram, like little spoilers about it. She has mentioned in her comments about wanting to go with something a little more lesser known, I guess. So great grammar there, that entire sentence, did that make sense? She's wanting to go with sayings or signs or, you know, different little things that aren't your normal, you see it, you know it's Gilmore Girls. I think at one point she was talking about wanting to draw out the Luke's logo, which this was from Abby Top Knot Stitcher Shop. I don't know if she still has them or not. But she wanted to go with something that wasn't quite so in your face, you know it's Gilmore Girls. And then that was where she came up with the idea of doing the Williams Hardware logo that's on the outside of Luke's Diner. And so, yeah, loving that piece. And I'm actually staying up with it. I don't always stay up with, to be fair, I don't know that I ever really stitched that many cells, to be honest. But the fact that I'm actually staying up with it, it's pretty good. Alrighty. Oh, that's not what I wanted. iPad, we're just gotta deal with the technology. So my next piece is another little bit of a finish for now. I was actually contemplating picking it back up again last night, but I couldn't settle on what I wanted to stitch on. So we all know this piece though, I think. Lila Studio, Halloween Quaker. If you see these red lines, that is something that I drew in there myself. This is something that I took and divided it up. I explain this usually every time, but in case you're new, I had most of this portion stitched up when I decided to jump in with those that were taking a piece and separating it, dividing it up a little bit to make it a little more monthly pieces to get it done in maybe a year or, you know, whatever kind of time frame. And so this one worked out perfectly that I was able to, they're not equal pieces. There's some chunks that are bigger than others, but it worked out perfectly to separate the little motifs out to stitch, you know, one portion a month. And I plan on being able to get this done by July, or in July of this year. And so, what did I stitch on? Yeah. I did this at the very end of January. This is stitched on a piece of 16 count Picture This Plus in Jade. I can't quite see. I think that's... We're going to fold it up here a little bit because I can't see everything that's in there. So this is all that I have stitched. So we're a little more than halfway. And so what I stitched the last time I picked it up was this big, beautiful motif right there, and then that little yellow golden doodad. I am using the called for Classic Colorworks. I spoiled myself. Actually, I think I had a gift card now that I think about it. So I went with the called for, and I want to say this is Smoke Classic Colorworks, and I'm loving the variegation that's coming out through that. That is using 2 strands, stitching 1 stitch at a time for the most part. And so I love the kind of depth or whatever that, you know, difference that it gives by using the variegated. So we're getting there. I have 6 more sections to do to have it finished up. This is going to be a huge celebration to have this one finished. Michelle Bendy did mention that she was bringing back her Quaker Zooms, so I'm looking forward to being able to join in on that, be able to get a little more stitching done on it. And my next piece shouldn't come as any kind of surprise that I got a page finish, since I already mentioned it too. But it is my focus piece for the year, and so I'm whipping out those page finishes left and right. We are working on Mini Dark Goddess, artwork by Carol Cavalaris, charted by Heaven and Earth. Just realizing how dark that lower left corner looks. Never really picked up on that until I saw it with, you know, like the black background, I guess. Which, it was funny, I actually saw the other day that this is, this chart is being offered in a no background. And so I looked at what the mock-up was of that. I'm happy I went with the one that I did. Because it's like got that watercolor look, I don't know. Taking out the background looks a little odd. And here we go. So I am currently, I've since picked it up again after getting that page finished, but I'm currently a little more than 56% complete. So what I did since showing it last was getting this page finished. So I know it's not really looking like much when I show just a page like that, but you know, it's kind of taking the entire piece to kind of get the watercolor effect, I guess, if you will, of the flowers and, you know, petals and that. What was really exciting was that you can really tell the blue that's coming in that corner. So those are some fun colors to get added to it. I'm really looking forward to the day that I can start getting some zero colors, you know, where you stitched all of a called for color in the piece. Definitely not there yet, especially being only at 58%, but I know it's gonna be coming. The way that I'm zipping through, there's definitely getting some colors that are really getting close. But like one color, I think I've got just a couple of stitches left. I can't manage this, but they're like way over here where I'm not counting to. So this is the last, not the last, second to the last row of full pages. So when I get down here is going to be the, and then below it is going to be just another row of pages that's really small. So I'll be stitching those together. So I'll definitely be getting the like double page finishes going soon, you know, once I get down that far. Full Coverage Fanatics, I am using it for the Focus on a Finish, and so it is something that I'm really looking forward to. I don't have the page marked for this next piece, my last whip. So the last piece that I have to share today, I pulled out Grief Knows No Bounds. This is a charity chart that is available on the, if you go to any one of the designers of this page, on their Instagram page, there's a post that gives an explanation, giving a donation to a variety of charities such as, I know Doctors Without Borders is one. Basically they're benefiting charity organizations to give aid to Palestinians, and I know like one of them is for focusing on children that have been affected by everything that's going on. And so designers are Michelle Bendy, Marumi Crafts, Yasmin's Made with Love. I know I'm not getting them all. They're known as the Stitchers for Peace Initiative. So again, Marumi Designs, Aya Rosen, Yasmin's Made with Love, and Crafty Yams, Michelle Bendy. So go to any one of their Instagram, look for this page, and you'll see the information about it to be able to get it. I adore this piece. The poem hits me every single time I read it. This bird is, well, all of the birds are really cool, but this Palestinian sunbird, I think is what it is stunning. So I haven't really been talking about why I've worked on specific pieces, but I am in a number of different Facebook groups, and so there's different challenges and such. And so I know this one, I pulled it out for Laura Stitching by the Shore, her Facebook group. She posted a little I Spy challenge for the month of February, and one of them is something that flies, I think. Yeah, I think it was something that flies. I used birds, categories, and whip warriors, a few different things, kind of double dipping. So here's where I'm at. Not a whole lot. This is another stitch session or two since you saw it last. This is stitched on a piece of 16 count Bestitch Me in Ledger, and that border is amazing. So I did, when I picked it up, I still had a thread for the black border all the way around, and then I've just been working on, the border is representing from, what is it, from the river to the sea. And so, beautiful. I still have some flosses I need to get, so for now I've really honestly just been borrowing DMC from other projects to be able to, I feel like I've got an entire, DMC collection, but not necessarily easily able to grab for every single project. And so yeah, I just ended up borrowing. I do like to have individual like sets of flosses for each project though, just because if I take something to my sister's house to stitch, or you know, something of that nature, I want to be able to have something that I can just grab and go. So I do have individual floss boxes for like all of my full coverage and you know, all of that kind of stuff. So I do have one more project to share. I was thinking that Grief Knows No Bounds was the last project, but I do have one more. This is the project that I was making reference to, that where I was working at was just one color. You'll see in a minute why I was able to get so much done. But this is Magic Book. And you know, now that I try to think of it, I don't remember a single details besides the name being Magic Book. I don't remember the Etsy shop. Tiny cross stitches. Tiny. Because I laugh over the fact that this piece is so big, but it was from a shop called Tiny Stitches or something like that. I'll try to remember to put the details down below. I was originally searching for a cross-stitch piece based off of the book series A Court of Thorns and Roses, and this one came up, and it's not specific to that series, but it's beautiful. I can't wait to get into more of the colors, but for now, where I'm at is all black. I am getting pretty close to being able to do that portion right over here where there's other colors, but for now I'm officially below 16,000 stitches in black. Pretty much every color that I've stitched so far, or I know I've stitched a couple of other random stitches from another color, but so far it's mainly all black. So we're looking at like 1,600 stitches of black, just DMC 310, and so literally I just would pull a length and stitch away, pull another length and stitch away. So it definitely went really easy. Obviously there's counting involved, that's what the whole project, you know, counted cross stitch. But for the most part it was easy to get away, or, you know, stitch away. So basically when I picked it up, I was right around, you know, right here is what I had stitched. So I've added in all of this much right over here. So yeah, so shortly over here is going to be getting into some of that cloud of other colors, whatever it is. But so far really all I did, literally all I stitched on was black. 16 count white Ada, 2 strands full cross, same as my dark goddess. I don't know that I actually said that when I had that piece up, but yeah, lots and lots of black. So I picked this up for a couple of challenges. Something for Whip Warriors categories. I know there was something with Laura's challenge too, but I don't remember specifically what. I don't know. But yeah, so that is my Magic Book. Again, I'll try to remember to put the details below because I don't remember all of the details of who that's from. So that is all of my stitching that I've done in the past 2 weeks. Lots of numbers have gotten in, but not necessarily spreading a lot of across a bunch of projects, just because my focus piece is really that dark goddess. And so I got that page finished the other night and moved the Q-snap and kept working. I know I had a strand still connected, so I really just moved right over and kept stitching from where I was at with that. So yeah, you know, I actually meant to talk about this right from the get-go, and then I completely failed too. But I do want to give a shout out to a looks like a newer channel. I think she's got 10 videos out now, but her name is Stephanie. Channel name is Fraulia Knits. Again, I'll put that in the not comments, but the description box below. Go check her out. Go give her some love. She had found or had seen that Jessie and I were stitching our birth month flowers, and she decided she wanted to stitch one for herself as well. And so she said that she was joining in with stitching those, and so I ended up getting tagged on her last video, and so I went and checked her out. Love the channel. She seems really cool. So again, Fraulia Knits. Her name is Stephanie. I want to say there was 10 Flosstube videos out, so go give her some love. I'll try to remember to put that channel name below so you can go give her some attention. So it just, personality just really clicked. I really enjoyed watching her, so I can't wait to see more. And given that she's got 10 videos out, I'm probably going to go back to the beginning and start and watch the rest of them because she was very enjoyable to watch. So I meant to actually share this in my last video. I received the sweetest card, beautiful flowers, but my friend Nancy, I stitch with her on Zooms when I get a chance to join them. And we've got a whole group chat going, and something came up in a chat one day about Mrs. Seda silks. And I'm dropping it. And so I said that, you know, one of these days I'm going to have to get my hands on some of those silks because I just hear nothing but amazing things, and I just haven't had a chance to actually, you know, buy any yet. Miss Nancy, very graciously shared, I forget now, she noted in here rouge, I think is what the floss color is, but it is this stunning red. There you go. Now you can see the bits of variegation in the colors. So thank you so much to Nancy. Very sweet of you to share that with me, and I will definitely be finding something fun to add that to it. The only other thing that I really have to share is fabric of the month from bestitchme. This would have been February, no, we're in February now. This would have been January's. And so I know I go back and forth every other month is neutrals to colors, and I want to say that this was the neutral, but it's called Dusty Cottage. Oh, that is not what it looks like at all. It is definitely more pink than what is showing up. I mean, it's definitely a neutral, but that color is not picking up the pink at all. Kind of a peachy. It's really pretty. But that's interesting how lighting can show things, because that is whatsoever not picking up the pinkiness of what it actually looks like. And do you think I have anything real white? See, that's still not picking up. That's crazy. It's called Dusty Cottage, but there's definitely a little more pink than what's showing up, so who knows? Gotta love colors and the way things can change in light and all of that kind of stuff. So a little bit of a quick update. I don't really have a whole lot more to share, I guess. Plans, stitch. That's what I plan to do, is to stitch. And what, that remains to be seen. You know, it'll be more on Dark Goddess, that's for sure. Of course, we'll have to go back to Halloween Quaker some more, because I still have my February piece to stitch. Gilmore Girls, so the Gilmoreisms, of course, we'll have a couple more drops for that before I come back again. Beyond that, I am very much a wee stitcher. Stitch what you want when you want. You know, I try to use the challenges to pick up things that I stitch on, and, you know, trying to figure out things that will fit different prompts and all of that kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, I'll pick up, but I really want to get back to another piece. I really want to get back to Dark Goddess, or it is so cool to watch people put so much thought and ideas into the goal settings and what they want to stitch on, and it is so great to see people meeting those goals. You know, I love watching all that Jessie Marie sets out to plan, and I know Carolyn Zook does a lot of planning, you know, a lot of goal setting and all of that. I've tried Whip Go. I love the idea of that, you know, being able to get, you know, set your own goals and all of that. I am just really much a stitch what calls to me. So it's not necessarily so much stitch what I want, but it's what's calling to me. So, I mean, that's really what, you know, Sweewee is all about, but it's really just what, you know, I'll pick up on a piece and it's like, I just really don't want to work on this tonight. Um, so goal setting, while it is amazing to watch other people, it's not for me at this point in my life, and I'm okay with it. As long as I'm stitching, that's, you know, as long as you're stitching and getting stuff done on what you want to work on, that's the important part, right? So I hope everyone's doing well. I really don't have anything else to share, I guess. Not much is going on here. Stitches, the black cat, is completely crashed out on my bed. I was hoping that I could be able to get her on video because I don't think she's been on at least the last video, maybe even 2. She's crashed out on my bed. She barely lifted her head when I went in there to grab my iPad just as I was getting ready to start. So I figured she wouldn't come out here. I was hoping that by the time, you know, start talking that maybe it would actually call her out here, but nope, not today. Keep an eye out on Instagram though. I usually post videos or pictures or something on there, especially my stories. It's fun being able to, easy to be able to add things there. So anyways, stitch on what brings you joy, and we'll see you again in a couple weeks. Hope everyone's doing well. Keep stitching. Talk to you soon.